2020 was supposed to be an exciting year, the beginning of a new decade. I had a lot of things planned. We all had fun on New Year's Eve, but little did we know that the world as we know it was about to end.
At least 6 people have died in an outbreak of the new coronavirus, which has now reached the United States.
It has begun to spread rapidly outside the epicenter of China, and countries are bracing for the medical and economic impact.
There was mounting pressure the last few days for Governor Ron DeSantis to take stronger action to protect Floridians against COVID-19.
Directing all Floridians to limit movements and personal interactions outside the home to only those necessary to obtain or provide essential services or conduct essential activities.
After 28 days of lockdown, I didn't know what to believe. Thousands of people are dying and nobody seems to have any answers. The president is telling you to inject yourself with disinfectant. Some people say it comes from the 5G towers, and other people say it came from China. So I decided to get my camera and hit the streets and see how the city of Miami feels. No media, no news, just a camera and a microphone. I love Miami. I don't see how anyone could live anywhere else. White sand, tropical blue water, palm trees. Even over the bridge, the city life is dope. The nightlife, the culture, it's all intoxicating. But I never thought in a million years that this would turn into this overnight. The coronavirus pandemic forever changed the landscape of Miami, leaving a lot to wonder. Will Miami ever bounce back from this? Especially considering that Miami is a tourist-driven city.
Yeah, my name is Kenny Cardoso and his name is Carlos A. We are from Venezuela, but we are living here in Miami, in Kendall. And we are here just visiting Miami Beach because basically there is no any place to go, and the whole situation is kind of depressing right now. So you cannot go out, there is no place open. Wherever you go to kind of grab food, everything is to go. You cannot even go into the restaurant to sit and wait for your order. I don't know what's going on, but I think from my point of view, everything will change. So nothing will come back to what was before. This virus is not gonna go away. We gotta learn how to live with this. So I know that the government and the state, they are trying to keep everybody safe, but at the end of the day, it's our decision. So you gotta be conscious about wearing your mask, wearing your gloves and everything, but at the same time, they cannot keep us, isolated for so long.
This pandemic couldn't have hit Miami at a worse time as COVID-19 concerns were ramping up. In late February, early March, that's when spring break descends on the city. Miami decided to let spring break happen, but it probably wasn't the best decision, as thousands of kids from all over the country came to the city with no concern of the virus, not wearing masks, and no social distancing, which made the situation worse for the city.
I think they should have just locked it down as far as people coming in. You can leave, but you can't come back in. And I don't think the businesses should close. Keep the businesses open. We just lock it. We lock it down so no one can come in, so they can't bring it over here. The club life right now is dead, in my opinion. How are they going to maneuver through that? I think for right now it's changed, but as soon as they get that vaccine over here, which they working on it pretty fast, then the clubs and the sports and things will open back up. But as of right now, I don't think the clubs should be open.
Clubs, bars, restaurants, and hotels were forced to close because of this pandemic, leaving millions of South Floridians without a job, forced to file for unemployment.
The demand for unemployment benefits is just as great here in South Florida. Huge crowds have been showing up to pick up paper applications after the state's website became overwhelmed.
The federal government has allocated millions of dollars to small businesses, but the process of getting that money is not an easy one.
We need to get money to small business and American workers, and that's what we're doing.
I believe it will help for the time being for the real low-income families. That's going to help out for a little bit, but it's definitely not enough. You have people out there still making $300-400 a week. A $1,200 check, is going to get them by for a few weeks, kind of ease the tension a little bit. Other than that, it's not going to do much. And unfortunately, most of the money went to the wealthy.
The small business disaster loans and the payment protection program are now out of money, and there has been outrage that several large chains have received millions. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse got $20 million. Burger chain Shake Shack got $10 million.
They could have given a lot more to the working class that really needed the most. I believe this is very toxic. It's affecting people in ways that people have not been affected before. It's a test that a lot of people haven't gone through. I myself haven't gone through it.
My name is Giuseppe, and we have a gelato shop here. It's called Mamma Mia. For me, I think they should start opening up and give a chance for the workers, for the people who are at home, and start Miami again. Oh, not everybody got this check for the businesses. We're still waiting, but he tried, and I don't know.
My name is Marcelo Triana. I'm the owner of Aloha Wellness here on 14th Street and Washington Avenue. Yeah, man, it's just been cruel time. Well, basically, we get the majority of our customers are tourists. Well, locals as well, but majority tourists. The beach is closed for now. I'm pretty sure they can, well, in Fort Lauderdale, they opened up the boardwalks, but they cannot go into the beach physically. They have it here shut down as well, so that's what is impacting us as well.
Stimulus, how do you feel about that, and did you get your fair share as a business owner?
I did not, honestly. I'm still waiting on it. That would help me drastically, honestly, and I'm still waiting on it. And several other businesses around me have yet to get that as well. I've asked them, they have not gotten them. I haven't even gotten a deposit in my business account yet. Not even a little something. Or not even an email or like a letter to reach out saying, okay, this is gonna come at a certain time. Nothing at all. They haven't reached out at all. And around the block either. I've asked them, have you received at least something? Nothing. The upper government promised us that it would be coming 2 to 3 weeks latest. So, and it's been way past that. People are gonna start going crazy. People are gonna start I wouldn't say rioting, but I'd say they're gonna start going out and like breaking the rules. So I'd say we have to make changes quick.
Although the COVID situation took a toll on small businesses, essential businesses remained open, allowing them to flourish.
Drive up earnings at Walmart. Sales there were up 10%, people in pandemic shopping mode.
Amazon is seeing a surge in demand as many people turn to online ordering to get supplies during this outbreak.
This situation actually, thank God, luckily, I was smart enough to invest in an 18-wheeler and a trailer, in a refrigerated trailer prior to Corona. And with the increased amount of grocery shopping that people have been doing, my profits have skyrocketed. It's fortunate. This is definitely a blessing. I feel good about it because it is an essential situation. It is an essential business. I feel that truck drivers, medical workers, bus drivers, pilots, stewardess, all of that, even, heck, fast food workers, they are all essential workers. I'm definitely proud to be a part of the solution.
This pandemic took a toll on Miami Beach. But what about the people over the bridge in the real Miami? In culturally diverse inner city neighborhoods, where food and resources aren't always available at a time like this.
Food Rescue US is actually a national nonprofit, and what they do is they rescue food from restaurants, hotels, markets, and we direct transfer it to local shelters, homeless soup kitchens, and food insecure. But with the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, we pivoted to actually feeding people that are out of work, furloughed, laid off, or just underemployed. I think Miami is in for a long-term change. The hotels and the restaurants are closed. The retail stores are closed. We're really a tourism-driven economy. It's our lifeblood, is the restaurants and the hotels. And with them closed now for really almost 2 months, it's really going to change, I think, the economy and the fabric of the entire city. We have 2 community kitchens that we're running right now. One of them is at Red Rooster, which is over in Overtown. It's actually a brand new restaurant.
Our restaurant was pretty close to opening when the pandemic kind of struck at its highest peak. We opened this entire restaurant to be able to feed this community. Underserved communities like this are exactly what they are. They're underserved, right? This pandemic is most lethal for us in this community because, one, there's no health care in this area. There is less income for people to be able to do this. You know, people don't have cars to get to the hospital for, tests. They don't have health care to get these tests. They don't have the resources of information to get it, right? We can go all around Miami and find these resources, find these tests. But if you walk around Overtown, they dropped off some sanitation stations, but people have no clue why it's there. Even when this pandemic started and we had to lay off all our employees, nobody knew why we were doing it. We still have people who come in line and ask us if we have a job for them because they don't know that restaurants are shut down, because they don't go to restaurants on a daily basis. The information is not spread the same way. I ask myself the same questions. If there was some sort of miracle vaccine that came about, how would you get it? Would this area be left in the dark? Would it be one of the first ones served? Those questions, the fact that I have to ask those questions says that there's a problem.
There has been a momentum that has come out of this, and the other volunteers that I volunteer with, shockingly, it's been an incredible experience. The need here, especially in Overtown, will be profound for a very long time. And I hope that some sort of community kitchen could continue.
Along with Food Rescue giving thousands of meals to the homeless and the underserved, there's another organization taking a different approach. Teaching the youth in inner city communities how to grow their own food. So in times like this, they'll be self-sufficient. It's called urban farming.
You don't really see around the country people doing urban farming because of the conditioning that we have placed ourselves in as far as a specific mindset when it comes to being in the field. Everything that you guys see here that we grow, basically we give back to the community for free because the area is considered a food desert.
Millions of people around the country live in communities where access to grocery stores selling fresh produce is difficult.
There are over 49 million people living in the U.S. without access to fresh food or grocery store.
We just knew there was going to come a time where all these places, Whole Foods, Winn-Dixie, Publix, whatever you have it down here in South Florida, that the amount of food that they're able to sell now is only very limited, to the point where that's going to become very scarce. What are you going to do when that runs out? What are you going to do when you can no longer buy food? What is the next step? Cultivating the land and with growing your own food comes more than just feeding yourself. You're creating a whole ecosystem, and part of this whole ecosystem is helping to restore back what was once destroyed that belonged to all of us.
Any first sign to any kind of war on the people, you need to take back your food and water. Those are the first 2 steps, because at the end of the day, that's one of the resources that they're gonna pull first. A lot of us do not know how to grow our own food or even want to try to, because we are so codependent on the system. It's imperative that we as a people educate ourselves on urban farming. It doesn't matter if you only have a balcony. Where there's a will, there's a way.
It's really important to know how to grow your own food, and it's important to teach the kids how to grow their own food too, because if the kids grow the tomato, they're gonna eat the tomato, you know? And so it's really important just to teach them those skills so they can pass it down and they can rely on themselves instead of some other corporation or institution for their food, which is necessary to live. We need to come together as a community and rely on each other, because that's really all we have at the end of the day, you know? That's all we're gonna have when it comes to times like these. So even when it's all kosher, even when things are quote unquote normal or good, we should be relying on each other, investing in each other, so when things do go down, we have each other's backs.
With South Florida, something people don't realize about Miami, people just think it's all palm trees and city life and this, that, and the other, and nightclubs. Nah, it's not about that. There's this very hidden underground network of people that are doing wonderful work, and people that are still pushing out there, people on the front lines, and you know, things like that gives me hope. You know, it kind of relieves the tension of just realizing that so much people are in need, but then you start to realize and see that there's so much more other people that are doing more work for those that are in need.
I'm thankful that there's still people in the world that care about our hoods and underserved communities. There's many of these communities in Miami-Dade: Opelika, Carroll City, Little Haiti, Miami Gardens, Liberty City. The list goes on and on. As I was doing this documentary, something tragic happened. Another unarmed black man got murdered in the streets in Minneapolis, Minnesota by police officers. This caused outrage and protest that spilled into the streets all over the world. Even here in Miami, Florida. "2020 has been the year of self-reflection. 2020 has also been the year that we all came together in our darkest hour. The coronavirus and racism are pandemics that can be eliminated if we all practice one thing: empathy.